Before visiting Mexico City, I didn't really know what to expect. I knew it was huge, I knew there were more museums and famous landmarks here than I could even fit in one trip, but I had a feeling there was more. After spending some time exploring the city, I discovered there was an addicting, raw energy to this place that I didn't even know existed in our modern world. Come with me and let's explore some of the less traveled, hidden gems that made Mexico City feel really special to me. Barrio Chino is Mexico City's Chinatown. It's not that it's hidden exactly, but I never would have seen it if I wasn't looking for it. Right off of Parque Alameda Central, which is actually one of the oldest parks in all of the Americas, and it connects to the Palacio de Bellas Artes. So if you're visiting Palacio or Centro anyways, it's definitely a worthwhile stop passing through the area. And these two blocks are loaded with color. Find authentic Chinese food here, but also some fun Chinese food with a Mexican twist. I tried some of these delicious colorful balls, which I can't stop thinking about. It's called pan chino, and they're kind of like semi-sweet, sticky dumplings that come in different flavors. It was really hard to choose which flavor, but I ended up going with the taro. I already had mentioned Chapultepec in my last video on the must-see highlights, but there are way more parks in Mexico City worth visiting. After spending some time exploring the different green spaces in the La Roma and Condesa neighborhoods, I was really shocked just to see how many different places there were to hang out and how many different things there were just to do at these parks. And in these areas, there seems to be another market every few blocks. Some of these parks even have designated quiet zones, where you're supposed to be quiet when you go in there. Each one of these parks is really unique in their own way. They're full of surprises. Each time I went back, there was something new going on. It really seemed impossible to be bored with so many parks around like this. And if you ever head this way, make sure you walk around the neighborhoods as well. It's very charming. The amount of green that really covers everything made me second guess if I was in a forest for one of the largest cities in the world.
Oh, that's cool. We can pause and meditate.
It felt like exploring the city on two wheels would be a great way to take in the vibe, and the perfect place to do that is the Muévete en Bici. Every Sunday, main streets get shut down for a whole 50 kilometers, where you can come out, ride bikes, scooters, run, or whatever you want to do. There are places you can rent bikes. We grabbed one from the EcoBC app, which is Mexico City's bike share program. You can rent a bike from a designated location and drop it off at another one. It's fun too, because there's stops along the way where you can get your groove on. You can repair your bike if it breaks. And it's the perfect way to get some great city views. markets are not for the faint of heart, but perfect for blasting you with an authentic Mexican sensory overload. And some memories you won't forget. And also some unforgettable flavors if you're brave. La Merced is where you go to find an endless maze of colorful produce, party supplies, and the smell of fresh chiles filling the air.
We happen to have 64 different varieties. But the Peru people, they have 90 different varieties. They already beat us. But they don't know how to do tortillas.
I got to try some of the best mole I've ever had from Oaxaca. I've tried mole before, but this stuff just really reached down into my soul. I went with a guide, and I was really glad I did because there was so much chaos there and so many hidden gems from all over Mexico that I really would have missed out on a lot if I didn't go with somebody who knew their way around. Probably would have got lost too, honestly. This is a massive market. It spans many blocks. Really is like a labyrinth at times. So across the street from La Merced, that's where you'll find the Sonora Market. The Sonora Market is famous for witchcraft, and it's kind of like going to the dark side. Before we entered the Sonora Market, we were given a few instructions as to not accidentally cast spells on people, and given an amulet for protection. And I hope it worked. It's where you go if you want to cast a spell on somebody, or maybe pick up something for yourself. Need some money? Need to find the love of your life? There's a potion for that. La Merced is your go-to for everyday groceries and life items, and Sonora Market is all about mysticism. Then Mercado de San Juan is where adventurous eaters go to explore high-end and exotic gourmet foods. Eat a tarantula or a scorpion taco or two. To try a real once-in-a-lifetime meal, there's this place called El Cazador, where you can savor the flavor of exotic meats like lion or crocodile.
Buffalo, crocodile, armadillo, lion, tiger, ostrich, possum, zebra. Some people ask me, where did you get lion? From Africa. It is regulated by the government, so what they sell, it is a real deal. Tarantulas, they are served fried or alive.
And after the tour was over, we finished with unos tragos de mezcal, Mexico's famous agave-based spirit. I also got to try pulque. I've always wanted to try pulque. It's kind of like beer made from agave, but without the carbonation. And it was surprisingly tasty. The only thing I regret about going to this market is the fact that I didn't buy some mole. So make sure to bring some cold hard pesos with you if you ever go. While the big flashy skyscrapers we've seen and the tree-lined parks of Condesa and La Roma typically come to mind when visitors think of Mexico City, the majority of people living in Mexico City live over here. This borough is called Iztapalapa, and it's home to 1.8 million residents. That's more people living in this single neighborhood than many other cities in Mexico like Mérida, Monterrey, or Puebla, and the views of this place are stunning in a completely different way. The best way to catch these views are on the cable bus, or cable bus. Along the route, artists were actually commissioned to paint murals on the roofs, as if it wasn't colorful enough already. And this is actually not a tourist attraction at all. This is public transportation that's designed to connect the working class neighborhoods of Iztapalapa to the rest of the city. This is a relatively new system that's doing wonders for the community as it provides safe and accessible transportation for hard to access areas of Iztapalapa, at the same time bringing tourists into places where residents never thought they would see them. Since it is public transportation, you'll need a Metro card. Go ahead and pick one up at the window or machine at most Metro stations, and that same card can be used for buses, the Metro, bikes, or the cable bus. The cards are 15 pesos, and then you load however much you want on there. And the person behind the counter kindly let us know that we could access the Metro or the cable bus by sharing a card. Next to the Palacio de Bellas Artes. From that Metro station, we took the Metro to the stop Constitucion de 1917, which connects the train to the sky, and before we knew it, we were gliding up the hills of Iztapalapa. We got off at San Miguel Teotongo. It's a very colorful and lively area. The streets are lined with vendors selling tacos, treats, and all kinds of stuff. There's a bunch of panaderias and people selling all kinds of different snacks. And we stopped at a torta place where I had the best al pastor taco of the trip. I didn't catch the name of the place, but it was a tent set up outside of a restaurant on Calle Nardo. All in all, this was my favorite thing that we did because it really put in perspective the vastness of the city and really makes it feel like a world of its own. The colors from all four corners mixed with an authentic experience of the city really put the icing on the cake. But there is so much cake here and so much icing, it's really difficult to cover it all. To see some of the attractions and things you might not want to miss when you're there, watch my top 5 must-see attractions in Mexico City video. And stick around because every Saturday, I'll have a new video for you, more Mexico City and Merida content coming your way. Like it, subscribe to it, see you later.